to affirmations. Thank you for those of you who are returning. Thank you to my subscribers as well as new subscribers that I got this week, as well as those of you who are just passing by. I appreciate it for you joining me today. Like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell in order for you to know when I post. Okay. And let's see. We start with our saying for those of you that are new. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Have you been feeding yourself fresh or rotten fruit? I'm hoping it's fresh. Minding, always wanting to mind what we speak to ourselves as well as what we speak, as well as what we're speaking about others. Okay. Again, okay to vent and discuss a thing, but if we're discussing others with a malicious intent, as well as lying on others, sometimes that can activate what you sow, and we don't want that. Okay, we want to practice being kind. Okay, all right. So, for those of you that are new, each week we will pull from the Dialectical Behavioral Therapy, the DBT deck for clients and therapists. We will use these for the purpose of the healing of our people, the descendants of the slaves. Okay. Um, and also, too, you can get this deck. I encourage you to get the deck from my store. It is on the About page. There's a link at the bottom. Also, in the description box, there is a link at the bottom as well. Also, for those of you that are new, in the past, we were using the self-therapy cards deck. This is also an excellent tool. I would use these for clients that had reached therapy goals, but if they wanted to continue to work on goals, they would use these cards. And so this is also available in the store. Okay. And let's see, encouraging everyone to get Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, America's Legacy of Enduring Injury and Healing by Dr. Joy DeGury. Okay. We've heard of post-traumatic stress disorder, never post-traumatic slave syndrome. It's very important for our people to understand how we're still being affected today. Okay. All right. And with that, I am going to put the affirmation stones in the bag for those of you that are new, and we're going to shuffle them up and see which deck we're speaking from. Okay. Also, too, I'm hoping you all had a great week. If you didn't have a good week, what's one thing you can do that can make it better? Okay. So let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. Okay, let's see. All right, we get Imagine. We get this one quite a bit. We always jokingly say sometimes it's tend to get the same affirmation stone. I don't think that's an accident. Okay, it's probably a topic we need to look at. Imagine stone is the color hot pink. So this is that one. Okay, so let's see what they got us talking about today. Okay, what are we going to be talking about today? There's one popping. Okay, look like we had gotten this one before, and we'll briefly talk about it and then go to the next one. So we tend to get sometimes the same cards, and again, we don't think that's an accident. I think spiritually that means that we're still needing to look at the topic. Let go of judgments. We all have judgments. When you notice a judgment, do not let it stick, but imagine it to be a cloud drifting through your awareness. Judgments are only weather patterns, so allow them to come and go. Use this imagery whenever a judgment storm rolls in. And remember, it's only passing weather. Okay. So it's wanting us to be flexible with judging others. And really, people who tend to, and we talked about this last time, who tend to judge other people harshly, are very hard on themselves. Okay. But again, we didn't have those kind of luxuries in slavery. Okay. And, well, I will say this, we were judged harshly, right? And we were punished harshly. So again, it would cause us to be very judgmental because it was life and death for us, okay? But in today's time, we talked about this last time, is that we tend to be very judgmental on things that are not life and death or that are not serious, just our opinions about things. But things that we need to be judgmental on or really look into is when there are issues of abuse of power. We don't want to judge that, but we need to get to the point where we're judging important things, okay? But with that, I'm going to pick another one because we had already had that one. So let's see what else we get from this deck. Okay, come on, flipping and flopping. Come on, just need one. Let's see what we're going to get. Okay, there's one. State of mind. Okay, we've gotten this one before too, guys. It says we have 3 states of mind: emotion mind, reason mind, wise mind. Wise mind is the balance between emotions and reason. In wise mind, we can acknowledge and validate our feelings and still use reason and problem solve and think about consequences before we act. Okay, so we want to make sure we act in ways that reflect our goals and values. And in any moment, we always want to ask ourselves, are we using our wise mind? And so we talked about this as well. It's how we had to use it in slavery. Again, it was life and death. But now, amongst ourselves, sometimes we don't use our wise mind, again, because we don't think it's a consequence. But again, sometimes there are unseen consequences and consequences that play out later on in life with family, children. So we want to think about that, okay? Okay, this one's giving us a hard time. Okay, I'm gonna pick another one. We keep getting these same cards. It's not an accident. Are we using our wise mind? Are we thinking before we act? And even if we don't think it's a consequence, again, in relationship or with our children or with people that we let our guards down who know us behind the mask, what is the consequence? Could it be the person's mental health down the line, right? Could it be children not coming around, right? Let's see, here's one. Practice mindfulness in the moment. Okay, we've been talking about this one a lot lately, okay? Mindfulness is about being present in small moments, okay? Spend 10 minutes cleaning an area of your home, immersing yourself in the process. When distractions come up, such as judgments, thoughts, simply refocus on what you're doing. Focus your full attention, non-judging on what you are doing. Okay, so that's the practice this week, the challenge of being mindful, meaning whenever you're doing a task or something, you're trying to just take a deep breath. If you find yourself with that mind wanting to ramble and think about things or stress, inhale, exhale, and remind yourself, say, no, I'm going to let my mind rest. I'm just going to focus on this task. Okay, so that takes practice. And we can do this with a lot of different things. We can choose to focus on, if we're cooking, focusing on we're cutting up the vegetables, looking at the color, the texture, listening to sound, sight, sound, feel, touch, to allow ourselves to give ourselves a mental break. Okay, so that's important. And I think we probably used this a lot during slavery. We would relish moments that were non-stressful or peaceful. I can imagine our people getting into a rhythm of work or certain things to be able to not think about some of the trauma and stress of the day. I think we perfected this. I think that's why we survived with spirituality as well. But we were able to, amazingly, we went through a lot, but some of the most joyful people come up with some of the most interesting art forms. We find ways, we're experts at escaping and immersing ourselves in a thing, so we want to do that. All right. Okay, so that deck just really kind of had some of the same things in it. Okay, so let's see. Am I going to pull another one? I think I got some time. Let's see. Let's pull another one. All right, let's see. Let me get this one. Peace. Okay, the peace deck. I think we get this one quite a bit. This is the turquoise deck, okay? And I'm hoping you all are feeling at peace. Yeah. If you're not at peace, take pen to paper and write down what are some things that you're not at peace with. And for those of you that don't like writing, you can use your phone as a recorder and do what you call voice journals. What are you not at peace with? All right. And what do you feel like you need to do about it, even if you're not ready to, okay? Just let's start thinking about it, right? Speaking it out loud. Yeah. All right, we got something. Let's see what we got. What did we get? I think we got this one last time too, maybe. Okay, this may be, I think we talked about in one of the other videos, but this may be another part of it. Opposite to emotion, O2E for depression. Okay, I think we kind of briefly talked about this. Depression pulls people into depressive behaviors, inactivity, isolation, lack of self-care, and focus on negative thinking. Use opposite action to get moving and to connect with your personal and professional supports. Increase your self-care and practice encouraging and affirming thoughts. The key is get moving with opposite to emotions before your rut is too deep. If you have a low mood, do these opposite emotions actions now. Okay. So yeah, this is very important. When you're depressed, we don't want to do anything. And so sometimes you have to, a lot of times when I'm working with clients who are dealing with depression, we talk about the first thing we deal with is inactivity. I say create a schedule, realistic schedule, either a fun schedule, a self-care schedule, some type of a schedule. I don't care how simple or elaborate it is, but some type of schedule to start trying to do. Okay. Isolation is an issue. And sometimes it doesn't mean just if you're just by yourself, but sometimes just going outside of the house for a walk. That doesn't mean someone has to be there. But of course, if we can be around other people is great. But if you're just kind of getting out in public and moving, lack of self-care. We neglect ourselves when we feel bad, right? We overindulge, right? So we want to, look at that as well. And that focus on negative thinking. In cognitive behavioral therapy, one of the things we always talk about is challenging any negative thoughts. For every negative thought, you must replace it with either a positive thought or a more truthful thought or a thought that can help you feel a little better, okay? There's a statement that's called, you catch the thought, let's see, how do they have it? They have catch it. Yeah, you look at that thought and then you decide if this is helpful for me or not, and then you release it. Okay. So you have to kind of do that constantly. But definitely, if you're reprogramming your brain for every negative thought, you have to replace it with a positive thought or something truthful. And a lot of times when we speak the truth to a lot of thoughts that we're having, we can calm ourselves down. We're thinking, oh, something bad's going to happen. And then the truth is we say, okay, but has that ever happened? No. Okay. So every time you have that thought, you say, that's never happened. So therefore I have no proof. Therefore I have to let it go. Okay. So that's kind of example. So we want to kind of practice that this week. Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah. All right. And I think also too, with our people in slavery, we didn't have the luxury of thinking negative. We had a lot of negativity, but in order for us to be able to survive slavery and move on, and move the generations on and not get stuck. Our people was a positive people, and they definitely use spirituality, So put in the comment section, what are some of the things you all do in order to kind of fight depression, okay? All right, let's see. So let's see, we're going to pick our affirmation card, okay? And then we'll close it out, okay? Let's see what we're going to get. There's something. Oh, such a pretty card. It says, drink a cup of tea. Yeah, drink a cup of tea. Well, I know everyone's not a tea drinker, but drink a cup of tea for health purposes, right? So research, depending on your mood, let's do this. Let's look at mood, and then I want you all to go and Google, based on your mood, what is the best cup of tea to be able to help with this particular mood, okay? So go ahead and do that. All right, guys. And so I appreciate you all returning. Okay, thank you for joining me. I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know when I post. Don't forget to check out the store. There's a link in the description box as well as on my About page at the bottom. Also, for those of you who would like to cash app, information is on the About page as well. The donations will help me to be able to eventually do this more full time. It is appreciated. And thank you for those who have already donated. And remember, Everyone has a right to heal from trauma without interference, right? And privacy, even a race nation. And with that, until next time, bye.